Hey there folks, welcome to another one of my Minecraft World Tours. As you might be able to tell, I'm now playing in 1.7.10 and this is another one of Direwolf 20's worlds. And once again I created a world using his seed from his single player series, but other than that it's all completely different. I've sort of tried a little bit to follow on a little bit of what he's doing, but I'm trying to keep it a little bit different as well, just to keep things amusing. Anyway, it's always raining here for some reason, but, well, you get that. Often this way is where I made my first base setup, again similar to Direwolf. We can get in through this way. Couple of food bushes out the front. I need to relocate these at some point. But here was the humble home that I first set up. There's still a few things here. This is actually still where I'm keeping my bed for some reason. I haven't moved it over to my new base yet, but which is life. Also, this is my main mining cave, and there's another portal down there too, which I might show you later. In here is where I set up a few things, but I've moved these all to my new base now. And there's this handy travel anchor here to get to my new base, so let's just jump there. I've basically just set up a little bunch of relay stations just to get there quickly, and here we are. So again, I've set this up in the same area as Direwolf, but I've sort of done it a bit differently. I've tried to keep most of the base underground. I'll show you a bit more of that later. So on the surface there's just a bit of automatic farming, and I've got some animal farms here as well. These aren't automated at all, don't really feel like they need to be. And there's a bit of botania set up here as well. Found these flowers are pretty useless, but so I've got two different things to try and increase the margin a bit. One of them is that under here, somewhere, oh, there we go. I've got a little lava source with a ritual and some thermal lilies generating some mana there. That's actually quite good. Another thing that I've done is I've made a similar sort of endo flame automation, but this works a little bit differently. I'm using the machine inventory manager from the factory manager, and essentially this has just got a little program in it that checks to see whether there's a coal block in front of it. If there isn't a coal block, then it'll drop one out from the barrel. If there is a coal block, then it'll just leave it there for a minute and then suck it back in and drop it back out again, just to make sure that it doesn't despawn. And you see, one minor issue with it is that occasionally as I walk past I'll pick up the block, but then I just need to stick it back in the barrel and everything's fine again. For some reason these seeds over here, these things are repulsion plants, go quite nuts. I'm not quite sure why there's so many of them around here, but they seem very happy with it, so never mind. Nice looking smeltery here. To be honest, I don't know why more people don't design their smelteries like this. It seems like the most convenient way to do it. We've got a drain here, faucet thing, and again on this side. This is auto outputting into this chest down here. It just seems like a nice way to design it to me. And most people seem to put them on the sides. I don't know why. Anyway, so got some nice carpenter's plates and things. This is the main base entrance. This is the setup I was using for my initial manual smelting. I've still got it set up here just for fun. I'll probably eventually break this down and set it all up to use the automated systems, but so there's a few things that are in there. There's the travel anchor back to the mining cave and the old base, and as you can see I've set up an ME system for main storage, mainly because I really love auto crafting. I don't like manually crafting anything, and it's just great for storing things. And here's an elevator down to the sort of the work areas of the base. As I said before, I'm sort of trying to keep it all a bit hidden underground. This, let's just go out here again. So I've tried to sort of pretty it up a little bit, but this lapis on the outside looks a bit crazy. I know it looks a bit dumb, but wasn't really sure what else to put there. I didn't want it to just be plain bricks, and I just have stupid amounts of lapis that I'm not doing anything with, so it seemed like a useful block to do that with. But anyway, let's go back inside and down one level. So this is sort of the main work area level. As you can see, it's quite large. There's not really a lot of stuff in it. These are caches that automatically fed in from the farm out there, all the products that I'm currently farming. At the moment these are not hooked into my AE system, so I need to go and pull things out of them manually whenever I want them, but each one of these things actually stores 40,000 items, so they're actually quite a bit bigger than a barrel, and they're quite cheap to make, which is quite nice. But you can see I'm actually getting quite a bit of wood here. Eventually I'm planning to hook up some storage conduit things to this from ME, but I haven't done that yet. This is my main power system at the moment. Even with the nerf that Direwolf put in for the fuel usage, this is actually is quite handy. It's not, you can see here, it's not automated at the moment. I've just got this chest where I'm pulling stuff in and out just manually to keep it stocked up. It doesn't really go through, I mean, even with the nerf, it goes through this fuel reasonably quickly, but not massively so I don't mind manually filling it every so often. One thing I have done though, you can see it's off at the moment. Down here there's actually a little computer which is controlling it. What that does is it will basically wait until this thing is drained down to, I think it's around about 1 million. Once it falls to below 1 million, it'll then turn on and charge it back up until it gets to about 8 million, and then it'll shut it off again, just as a way to sort of try and conserve fuel a little bit and keep everything nice. So at the moment this is off because there's not really a lot of drain in the system. That's because my quarry is off at the moment. So this is the quarrying setup at the moment. I'm using a dimensional transceiver to another dimension, so I've got a mining age because I don't really like mucking up the overworld. These ones are sort of the bulk storage. These are actually hooked up to the AE system, and you can see I've got general processing machines here hooked up to AE. So these are what are responsible for doing the main sort of grinding and smelting, or the things brought in by the quarry. It's probably not the most efficient design in the world, but basically all the stuff from the quarry lands in this chest, and then it's imported into the ME system, and then re-exported through into these things. There's a few extra storage things. So this interface here is for manual patterning, just because this is just a furnace mode only one. Seems to work reasonably well. It's usually not really all that busy even when the quarry's going, so it's easy enough to pull manually crafted stuff into there as well. What else we got? Another little thing here. I've tried to make an ME interface on each level just to make it convenient. This is my Mistcraft area over here. I've got a little tiny botania set up with the few flowers that are made so far. It's not really all that organised at the moment. See, some of the stuff's outside up there. And these are all the ages that I had to go through before I found a nice stable mining age to play with. Don't know why, but let's see. Yeah, you can see here I'm getting a lot of duplicate pages. That seems to be new. It used to be the case that you'd typically only get 1 or 2 of each page, but now they just seem to be coming in 10s and 6s and so on. I don't know why. It's a bit annoying actually. Instead of getting a variety of pages, it seems to be producing a lot of the same page. I've got a very basic enchanting setup here. I'll probably try and improve this and use mob essence or something in the future, but for now that's sufficient. It's just a little storage system there for essence when I die or whatever. Bit of Enduro setup there. What else we got? I'm sort of... the idea with this thing is that this level is supposed to be the sort of the main interaction level, sort of the workshop area type thing. Not really so much for automatic stuff, so I'm probably going to remove this reactor, make it a bit bigger, stick it down on the lower level, because yes, there is another lower level below this. This one isn't bad. It currently, it's not running right now, but when this is running, it produces about 800 RF per tick, which is quite a bit, but I mean, I know it's not as much as these things can produce if you make a bigger one. It's not the most efficient thing in the world. You can see there's no actual coolant in there, it's all fuel, but it does work reasonably well. What else? So yeah, I'll probably move this down to a lower level when I want to make it bigger. At the moment it's perfectly adequate for all my basic storage, but of course when the quarry's on it goes and sucks everything through there, and that's why the quarry here is at the end of the power line, so that everything else gets a chance to get all the power first. Otherwise it would just gum up on that. So if we go down one more level, I've just recently set up this little experience farm thing. See one bit's still not grown there. It's pretty basic at the moment. It's just dumping the berries into a barrel. I haven't done any automated conversion of that into the XP liquid yet. But over here is my main ME stuff. So here, auto crafting. This is a fairly basic crafting node. It's not the most efficient thing in the world, but it's convenient in that it does use exactly 8 channels, which means it just requires one connection back. So I've got this dense cable going in, and there's just one connection off that. So let's see, at the top there it says 8 channels in use. That's from one node. And so far this is sufficient for all my needs. I can expand it to more nodes later if I need to. Same thing down here at the moment. I've just got one crafting system, so this cable's just using one channel. And so far this seems to be okay. It's just using a 1K crafter. I'll probably need to make a bigger one of those at some point, but for now, as long as I don't build more than about 100 things at once, it seems to be okay, which is well worth it. So these ones go off into the storage buses upstairs for that bulk store, and a few other things. Everything else along this line is the main chest storage here, and few basic auto crafting things. So we've got this set up so to auto craft the Certus crystal. We've got these things set up to this is actually in alloy smelting mode, and this is just a sag mill general mode. I've got it set up to auto export flint into here, and just making standard things. This thing here is a fully automated processor creation system, so I've just got a note here. That's basically all you do. If you want to get a processor, you just dump the raw materials into this chest and then it just does it for you. I haven't actually automated auto crafting from here to do that, so if you want to get some extra processors you do have to dump them in here manually at the moment, but it's something that I just do occasionally. I'll probably eventually automate it, but just for a bit of fun, let's go and find some. So what do we want? Let's say we wanted some more gold processors. So to do that, let's get a bunch of gold. Don't need that much. But, let's see, silicon. Let's get a bit of that. Let's put that back. You can see I've got a few stockpiled processors, and that's what I usually use for auto crafting, and I just periodically make a few more. And also need some redstone. So this will just make 32 processors basically, all that stuff by itself. And let's go and let it do that. Just drop that in the chest. Sort of see it. You look here, doing its thing. Sit there for a little while, and everything just magically works. And if we look in the chest, it just dumps the processors back into here. And also the intermediate products that are overflow going into there as well. Then when everything's done, it's all just going to wind up in that chest, and you can just check up on it later, pick up some more stuff. Same sort of idea over here. This is all automated with the ender conduits, by the way. This one I've automated again with Steve's Factory Manager, because it's a little bit of fun. This is the crystal growth stuff, so it's all set up. There's some accelerators in there, and they're off at the moment. so that they only use power when they're actually crafting something. So again, you have to sort of manually kick it off, but I've got it to auto-craft these seeds, so let's say we want let's add a couple flux crystals. Let's get it to craft those for us. There we go, there's 2 flux seeds. This is more efficient obviously if you do in more bulk, but either way works. So we'll just drop the seeds into there. See, it's changed the sign. Just have to wait about a minute or so for it to process them. And there we go, when it finishes crafting the sign changes back again and we've got some pure flux right here. That whole process takes a couple minutes, so that's probably another reason why I haven't really bothered automating it. Same with this one here. See, it's still going. Takes a fair amount of time to craft all those processes, so rather than doing it as a craft on demand thing, I generally try and have a stockpile of each of these things. And again, I probably could actually automate that and get it to automatically make a stockpile of them, so I'll probably get around to that eventually. But for now this works reasonably well. And actually that looks like that just finished, so that was perfect timing. So now we have a few logic processes and we can just drop them into the system. Obviously, big room, not using the whole thing yet. So I'll probably stick a reactor in this corner or something. The idea is this will get more crafting nodes along this wall if I need them. We'll see what happens in the future. So there's the top half of my XP thing, it's just there to drain a bit of extra experience, but I don't really need it. And so, got, no, that's not the one I wanted, here we go. So up here, this is my blood magic setup. Actually I haven't got around to putting a roof on there because I need to get a bit more marble, or maybe something else, I haven't quite decided yet. I've set this up already for the size it needs to be to become a tier 5. Obviously I'll need to expand it a little bit now that tier 6 is going to be a thing, although it's not currently in this version of the mod pack, so I can't really do anything with it anyway. At the moment you can see it's actually a it's actually a tier 4, so yep, tier 4 altar right now. Upgraded a little bit with the capacity, so you can do quite a few bits of crafting. And as you can see, I've just been using light runes and things to get around. It's quite handy. Britannia, I've shown you that one. And that probably is pretty much my world at the moment. Obviously I've got my quarry in another age. It's just sort of sitting there hanging around, not doing much. Just get out. Oh, actually, before I do that, this computer horse. Isn't that fun? Alright, so this one here is my quarry age, which apparently is dark right now. Awesome. But it just so happened to be a magic age, so there is a lot of magic trees around, and it's been generating all sorts of fun stuff for me. But see, it's gone through a reasonable amount of the landscape, which is quite nice. And actually, now that I'm in here, oops, a few unfriendly things. I should have started running again. Yep, see, there it goes. I did sort of set it up high on the ridge. This was a earlier quarry that I made. Not really sure what's up with the bedrock there. It's sort of flat in most places, but then it's a little unflat in other areas. A bit strange. But anyway, get out of here before we get attacked by too many things. But now that I've loaded the age, the quarry system should actually be running now, so yep, here we go, we're getting some stuff. Got a lever there to turn it off if I need to, but for now it's fine. Now, one fun thing that I've set up, you can see this thing here, again, holds 40,000 cobblestone, and it's completely full. I haven't set up any voiding or anything like that. I don't actually want to void things. It kind of annoys me to sort of lose resources, even though obviously cobblestone is infinite. You can set up a cobble gen easily enough. But what I've actually done instead is that this is the primary cobblestone store, so anything quarried up will go into here. This gets used for auto crafting and all that sort of stuff, and then it'll replace it from the quarry. But when this is actually full, what happens is that the cobblestone goes downstairs up to here, into this chest. And this has a bunch of packages set up so that it gets converted into triple compressed cobblestone automatically. And this has also got a storage bus on there so that I can pull out that triple compressed cobblestone if I need it. And yeah, it's a very simple setup here. I can, if I wanted to compress it to quad compressed, I could just add one more package, a couple more conduits, done, easy. If I wanted to do compressed dirt, which I'll probably need to do shortly, I will have to set up a separate line of packages, but based on the way this currently works, it might be possible to do sort of like a controlled insert or something to use the same ones. I might investigate that. But I mean, packages are pretty easy to make, it's not that hard. You can see here I'm probably going to have to do something with dirt sometime soon. It's just... what's that multimeter? One slightly annoying thing about these caches is that you can't really see how much stuff is in them other than this little display. So you really have to use a multimeter for it. So yeah, these ones here, the hardened caches, hold 40,000 items. These ones, the basic caches, hold 10,000 items, which is still pretty decent. So most of these over here are actually the hardened ones. That's actually kind of silly for some of these products. Obviously I don't need them all to be hardened, but hardened caches are just so cheap to make, it was just easier to do that. Oh, and there we go, because the quarry's now on, the reactor's turned on because this thing just completely drains all of my power. So you can see here this is now empty, and I've even got a little capacitor here which is just going, well, it's not empty yet, but it's coming out pretty quick. One of these days I should probably set up something to work out what the real draw of this is, but no, it's not doing too badly yet. But yeah, this quarry tends to suck the power quite heavily. And yeah, I think that's about it for my base at the moment. As I said, I'll probably remove this setup. The idea was that this level was supposed to be pretty clean. The only thing really that was supposed to be at this level was the elevator and the ME interface, just to act as a sort of a entranceway to the main base, but you know, seems to be okay. Need to explore this a little bit more as well, and it's a cool backdrop, obviously. You know, I've sort of tried to pretty up the buildings a little bit, but I'm not really the best builder in the world. I know that's really horrible, but hey, what can I do? I'll just show you what I mean about the lapis. There we go, so 2000 lapis. Pretty much the most common mineral I have other than the coal. It's just for some reason it generates really quite frequently, and there's just not that much stuff that uses it. So yeah, lapis decorative blocks there. You know. Anyway, that's it for my world tour at the moment. As you can see, I've sort of got a thermometer here. I'm just sort of barely getting started in Thermcraft, scanning all the things. I suppose the other thing I can show off is that this here is Energy Blaster from Blood Magic. It's quite a nice, decent distance weapon. Interestingly, according to the wiki, this thing is supposed to cause that debuff that generates the blood shards, and it does, I can see it, but I've never yet gotten a blood shard out of shooting somebody with this, so... no, this was not a cave. not nighttime unfortunately, so I can't really demonstrate it very well unless I sort of attack a poor defenseless sheep. But yeah, you can see it works reasonably well. So I made the bound blade as well, and that one generates the blood shards quite frequently, so that's nice. That's how I managed to finally set up the tier 4. Yeah, so just a very basic MFR planter setup here. I suppose one other thing I can show you is just for amusement. Yeah, here we go. In one of the dungeon chests I found some nice epic saplings. I've forgotten exactly what they were called, but this is MFR arbitrary. I just planted one sapling on there and you can see how stupidly huge this thing is. Apparently this is actually the medium-sized one. There is actually a bigger one as well, but I didn't really want to do that. There's a few other nice big trees and things in the distance there, so overall it's a pretty nice location. So I've put a few markers for various villages that I've found and raided in the distance there. That's actually where most of these smeltery bricks came from to build the smeltery over here. So it's actually ridiculously oversized, but I had free bricks from a few villages that I raided, so I thought, why not? And yeah, obviously, Tinkerpick. Yeah, so leave me a comment if there's anything you want me to ask, or ask me about, rather. And yeah, I'll probably try and post another video sometime if I've made some more interesting things a little bit further down the line, so you can sort of see the difference. I did actually make a 1.6 Minecraft world, and I even recorded a video for it, but something went wrong in the recording, and so I couldn't actually post it. Never got around to sort of trying to make another video. Hopefully that doesn't happen with this video, but I guess if you're seeing this, it didn't, so we'll see what happens. But until the next video, leave me a comment if there's anything you want to ask, and see you later.